up, y'all? It's your girl Brianna, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, then welcome, but if you're not new, welcome back. What's poppin'?
It's you. It's not even nobody bad. It's you. Come on, baby, you know that I'm bagging you. I had to get a Louis on bag or two. It is no one that is bad as you. We got no paddocks on paddocks too. Made it straight to the top, got a whole lot to lose. Keep on asking me, trying to find the truth. I said, baby, I'm better off lying to you. I said, baby, I'm better off lying to you. You will never be able to find the root. Everything on me designer too. Everything on me designer time too. All of my diamonds, they pink or they blue.
So y'all, so this is my first video of 2024. So happy New Year's, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all of that. So as y'all can see from the title of today's video, today I am back with another story time, and this story is about the first time I got fired from a job. I really feel like they just wanted a reason to fire me, for real, but we gonna get into it, okay? Make sure you guys follow me on all of my social medias, and make sure you guys follow my business page as well. I'm a graphic designer, and make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And y'all, we hit 400 subscribers. Like, I can't even say let's get to 400 subscribers anymore because we already there. Like, thank you so much, and shout out to all the new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, and let's get to 500. Road to 500, period. And with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, so boom. So we're gonna start from the very beginning, from when I got hired to when I got fired. The job I was working for, it was a remote job, and y'all are probably like, girl, you got fired from a remote job. Let me explain, okay? Let me explain. So basically, I was working at home. I was working from a remote call center. And I always hear people talk about how they want a remote job and how it's so hard to find remote jobs and stuff like that. I got lucky because I always heard people say stuff like that, but I really got lucky though, for real. Like, I had said I wanted a remote job, and I went on Indeed, which I don't recommend because Indeed be scamming y'all. Like, one time I got scammed on Indeed, and it was like really bad. So if y'all didn't watch that story time, make sure you watch that story time when you finish watching this one. But anyway, so I went on Indeed, I typed in remote jobs, and I literally applied for the first company that popped up. Like, it was just some random company. That was the only company I even applied for. And literally like 2 days later, they called me back. And I was like, oh, that was easy. I don't know why everybody be talking about it's so hard to get a remote job, because that was easy peasy lemon squeezy. And that should have been the first red flag, because whenever you apply for a job and they just call you back like the next day or 2 days later and hire you on the spot at the interview, that's how you know that job is gonna work your nerves. So 2 days later, I got a call from like the lady who's like over the call center. Like, she's the one who like runs the call center or whatever. So basically, she called me and she was like, hey, we received your application. We think you fit the requirements, blah, 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 blah. She was like, would you like to do a phone interview? And I was like, duh, like, of course. Well, I didn't say all that, but you know. So I was like, yes. So the next day we did like a phone interview, and basically she didn't even ask me like any interview questions. It was as if I already had the job. Like, she was just like, do you have Wi-Fi? Because you know it was work from home. She was just like, do you have Wi-Fi? Do you have a such and such computer? If not, you'll have to get one. Like, she was just telling me like stuff that I would need to get for the job. She didn't even ask me like any interview questions or nothing. After the interview and everything, basically she sent me like a follow-up email and stuff about orientation. Like, y'all, I was already hired, okay? Like, I was like, this was too easy. Like, I was basically already in the door. So the orientation was the following Monday, and it was like a Zoom call with me, her, and like the other people that they were also hiring at that time. So basically, she was just like telling us about the company, telling us what we would be doing, and explaining everything to us and all of that. I think we started training like 2 weeks after that, and then training was for like a month and a half, and then we started working after that. And the company, they let us create our own hours and everything. So I was like, this is so good. Like, working from home and making my own hours, like, y'all, you really couldn't tell me nothing. Like, when I first got hired, I really thought I was doing something. I was like, oh my god. Well, fast forward, when I first started working for the company, so it's a call center, so you know, you just take calls all day. And when I first started working there, y'all, like I said, I was like really excited and stuff. I was given like A1 top tier customer service. I was really doing my thing, okay? Like, I was on the phone like, hi, my name is Brianna, how can I help? Like, using my professional with, like, y'all, your girl was a corporate baddie, okay? This is when things started to go downhill. So after like a little while of working there, they ended up cutting our pay. Mind you, they didn't tell me anything, okay? I found out on my own from like the other people that was working there too, because we had like this little group chat thingy. So I found out from them. Nobody told me nothing. Nobody told me Nathan. So I ended up texting the lady who's like over the call center, the lady who hired me and stuff. And basically I asked her about it and she was like, oh yeah, I meant to tell you, I meant to send you an email. I thought I emailed everybody, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay. So I thought that was like really unprofessional or whatever, because how you just gonna not tell your employees that you're cutting their pay? They didn't even like explain why or nothing like that. Like they just cut it and said deal with it. Basically, I'm not gonna lie, there was like a little slight decrease in my performance, because it's like, why am I giving my all to this job and they not even paying worth nothing? You know what I'm saying? And that's probably not like the best way to think. Like when you have a job, you're supposed to always like give it your best foot,
Give it your best shot every day.
but no, if you decrease my pay, you're gonna see a decrease in performance. Cause like, stop playing with me. After that happened, I was like really dry on the phone. I was like, hi, thanks for calling, this is Brianna. I just wasn't really feeling it no more. So then after that situation happened, then they cut our hours, y'all. Like they cut our hours because they said they were like hiring like a whole bunch of more people and stuff. I don't know what that got to do with me and why my hours need to be cut because y'all hiring more people. So first y'all cut the pay, then y'all cut the hours. Like it's not giving. So basically, like I said, we created our own hours. Like we had like this website that we would have to log into every week. That's when the hours were like unlocked for like the following week, and then we would go in and we would select our hours for each day for the next week. So after they had cut our hours, they put like a maximum capacity. So every week when we log in to create our hours, it would show at the top, it would say like hour cap, and then it would tell you the amount of hours you could work for that week. And then if you select more, it'll be like, you've scheduled over the max capacity, please unselect hours or something like that. Yeah, so I didn't like that because first they reduced the pay, then they reduced the hours. So at this point, the check really wasn't hitting on nothing. So I started thinking in my head, I was like, why am I really working this job now? Like, why am I getting up every morning, clocking in, taking all these calls all day, just for this little itty bitty check? So I was like, is it really worth it? Like, should I just quit? But I was thinking, I was like, you know, remote jobs are hard to find. And even though like the check wasn't really nothing for real, I was like, you work from home, you make your own hours, like it's comfortable, it's convenient, it's easy. And I was like, it's easy money, so just stay. Like, I really got too comfortable. Like, I really should have quit when I wanted to quit. Like, I really was just way too comfortable. So I was like, I'm gonna stay here a little while longer and then I'm gonna quit, like, for real. So after that situation happened, like after they like cut our hours or whatever, so this is when like the whole firing situation started. So like I said, at this point I really wasn't feeling the job anymore. Like I really just was not taking the job seriously anymore. When I'd be on the phone with customers and stuff, I really was not like, I just wasn't there. Like mentally, I was just somewhere else, okay? So what I started doing was I started transferring callers to like different departments. So basically sometimes customers would call in and like depending on like what they're calling about or like what they're trying to do, we would have to like transfer them to like a different department to help them. We was only supposed to transfer if like the customer really needed to be transferred to the different department, you know? So what I started doing is like when people would call, if they had like a question and I didn't really like know how to assist them, or like if they had like a problem or whatever and it just seemed like it was just too much, or like I felt like we would have to be on the phone for like a long time helping them, I would just transfer them to somebody else. And I didn't really think it was that big of a deal for real. Okay, I'm gonna admit when I'm wrong, okay? I shouldn't have done that because, you know, you're not supposed to do that. But like I said, I was just over it at this point. So like if somebody called and they just had too much going on and I just didn't feel like helping them, I would just transfer them to somebody else. And I didn't do this like a lot. I would probably do it like a couple times here and there, but like not too much, okay? Because the call center that I worked at, it was like a high volume call center. So like once you got off the phone with one person, like once you press end call, literally the little headset would go beep and like another person would be calling in. Like the calls would come in back to back to back to back to back. So like if you're working for like 4 hours straight before you go on break, you would literally be on the phone taking calls back to back to back for 4 hours. Like there's no break, there's no in between. You don't even get 2 seconds to breathe. You don't get 2 seconds to recover from the previous call. Like it's straight to the next call. So I would get so tired and just like overwhelmed with all the calls. So like when I would get like really tired, I would tell the customer on the phone, I'd be like, so in order to assist you, I would have to transfer you to a different department. please hold for a brief second, whatever. Now I would just transfer them to somebody else. And yeah, so fast forward like a few weeks later, I got an email from one of the supervisors, and she was like, Brianna, we noticed that you have a high transfer rate. Basically, she was saying I transfer too many calls, and she was like, please only transfer callers to different departments if they really need to go to that department. So basically, she was saying like, we see you transferring people to different departments and you're not supposed to be doing it. So I'm like, okay, I'm starting to raise red flags with the supervisors. So I was like, okay, I need to chill. And I did. So after that, like, I stopped transferring people. I only transfer people when they like really needed to be transferred to a different department. So I'm thinking everything is cool, right? So fast forward, maybe like a few more weeks go by, and I'm at work, I'm on the phone taking a call, and this lady is on the phone, and basically she was saying like, I have to make a payment today on my account, but I don't have all the money right now. Is it okay if I extend the payment date for 2 weeks? Mind you, I got a call like this before, and I had reached out to a supervisor. They told me like, it's cool, you can extend payment dates, whatever. So I'm thinking that everything's cool because like I said, like I've done it before. I've extended final payment dates before for customers. So when the lady calls in and she's like, I need to extend my payment date, I'm like, all right. So I go in, I extend the date for 2 weeks. So after that, probably like a week or two go by, and I get an email from the supervisor again. And she's like, hi, Brianna, this email is in regards to the phone call that you took on. And then it had like the date that I took the call on. And it was about the lady who wanted the payment extension. So she was like, you extended the final payment for 2 weeks. You're not supposed to be doing that. Like, your department, you're not authorized to be doing that. And then at the end of the email, and remember this because this is very important to the story. At the end of the email, it was like, please respond within 24 hours with like a response of how you're going to fix this issue so we don't have this problem going forward. So I responded to the email and I was like, hi. And I was like, I wasn't aware that we're not able to extend final payments because I had got a call like that before, and the supervisor told me that it was okay to do it. And like, I've always extended like the final payments when customers would call in asking for an extension. So I was like, it's never been a problem before, so like I wasn't aware. And basically she emailed me back and she was like, oh yeah, like you're not supposed to be doing that, whatever. And I'm like, all right, thank you. So after that, the conversation ended, and boom, that was that. So like a week later, I get another email from the supervisor. She sent me another email, and it was about that same exact call that we had previously spoke about. Basically, she said the same thing, like you're not supposed to be extending payments or whatever. So I emailed her back and I was like, did you send me this by mistake? Because you already sent me this last week, like we already spoke about this. So like, did you just resend me that email by accident? And she was like, no, I'm sending it again because I told you to respond with how you're going to fix the issue, and you never responded. Like, yeah, the email has said to respond within 24 hours of how you're going to fix the problem. But I feel like as long as the issue was brought to my attention and I responded to it, everything should have been cool. I don't know. I feel like she was being petty. Like, girl, we already talked about this. Like, you know, you did not have to email me again about this. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I emailed her back and I'm like, going forward, I will not make payment extensions for customers when they call over the phone. So boom, that was that. So then fast forward, this is when the final situation happened that actually got me fired, because I feel like the other stuff, that was just leading up to it. So I'm at work again, a customer calls in or whatever, and they're like, hi, I would like to make a final payment extension. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, I just talked to the supervisor about this last month. She told me I'm not supposed to do this, which is weird because I've always done it and it's never been an issue, but whatever. So I'm like, all right, she told me like our department, we're not authorized to give out extensions. So I'm like, I'm gonna just transfer them to like a department higher up. I told the customer on the phone, I'm like, unfortunately, like I'm not able to assist with that, so I would have to transfer you to a different department. And the customer's like, all right, that's fine. I transfer the customer over and boom, everything's fine, right? Everything is cool and dandy. 2 weeks later, I get another email, right? I get another email from the same supervisor. And this time, y'all, she's mad. Like, she was literally writing in all caps. And she was like,
this is in regards to the call that you took on, and then it had like the date. And she was like, you are not supposed to send customers to different departments when they call for payment extensions. Please respond within 24 hours with how you're going to resolve this problem going forward in the future.
I'm like, all right, let me get this right, okay? So I'm like, she emailed me the first time and she advised me that I'm not authorized to be giving out payment extensions. She said our department is not supposed to be doing that. So the next time a customer calls, I tell them like, I'm not able to do that for you, and I transfer them to a different department higher up who's able to assist. Somehow I'm still wrong. So at this point I'm irritated. Like, I'm irritated, I'm aggravated. I'm like, what's the issue for real? Anyway, so I read the message or whatever, and it said to respond within 24 hours. Remember that, because like I said, that's really important to the story. So it said to respond within 24 hours. I was like, okay, like I'm gonna respond in a little bit. So they sent me the email at like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Y'all, tell me why at like 5 o'clock, literally not even 24 hours later, at 5 o'clock that same day, I get another email from the lady who's over the call center. Remember the lady who had called me in the beginning? The lady who interviewed me and hired me and everything, the lady who like owns the call center? So I get an email from her, and the subject, like the little title of the email, it said notice of termination. Like, what? I'm like, that's not good. So basically I open the email and I'm reading it or whatever, and I can't even remember exactly what she said, y'all. Like, I'm so free, like I can't even remember what that lady said. But basically she was saying like they're terminating me because she said that she received like multiple reports of like stuff that I had did wrong, and they had like reached out to me multiple times. And then she said that there was like an email sent out to me about an issue and I didn't respond within 24 hours. Mind you, the previous email they sent me, they sent it at 2 o'clock, and then they terminated me at 5 o'clock. They literally gave me 3 hours. Like, what if I was busy? What if I was doing something? What if I didn't even see the email at first? Like, they didn't even give me the full 24 hours to respond, talking about you didn't respond within 24 hours. Like, y'all, like, tell me that's not a wrongful termination. I would have accepted it if they had like a valid reason for terminating me, because I feel like they didn't have a valid reason. Like, they literally sent me the email and then fired me like 2-3 hours later. I just feel like that was wrong. So I was emailing her back, like I was like typing on my phone, like responding back to her, explaining, and I was like, nah, forget that. Like, I'm gonna call this lady. So I called her on the phone, the lady who owns the call center who emailed me. I was like, is there some way that you guys can go back and like reconsider this? Because the email that I received today, I just received it a few hours ago. Like, it hasn't been 24 hours, and I feel like this is a wrongful termination. And the previous times when they emailed me, I always responded back within the 24-hour time frame, and like told them like how I would fix the problems going forward. I explained like the issue that happened with the customer who wanted the payment extension. Basically, I was just explaining like everything to her. Like, everything I explained to y'all, I explained it to her. So basically she was like, well, I am aware that the email you received, you just received it today. Like, I know like it hasn't been 24 hours, but they have like, basically y'all, they had like a whole case built up against me. Basically, like, they was plotting on me. She was like, we have like multiple different incidents that happen on calls. She was basically saying like it was like a lot of stuff that led up to me getting fired, but she didn't really like go into detail about what that was. So I really feel like they didn't really have nothing on me. But she wasn't specifying what exactly I did, what exactly I said, when this happened. She was just throwing stuff at me. None of the supervisors ever emailed me and said, hey, Brianna, you gave out wrong information to this customer, or you did this, or you did that. Like how they emailed me about the other situation, nobody ever emailed me about anything else. So I'm like, all right, so if I was doing so much wrong, then why nobody ever emailed me? Like, why the supervisors never like contacted me and told me, hey, you messed up on this, or hey, you did this wrong? They was contacting me about all that other irrelevant stuff, but none of the supervisors ever reached out to me about anything else or told me how to fix anything. Like, if what she's saying was like true or whatever, I just think it's really weird. Like, if you see like an employee like messing up on something and you just keep like writing it down, instead of telling them about it, you just write it down and just put all of it together, and then like eventually you say, boom, you're fired because you did this, that, and that, instead of like telling them what they did wrong so they can fix it. You know, like, I just feel like that's weird and that's wrong. But yeah, so anyway, she was like, there were just multiple different incidents or whatever that they had like took note of, so they just decided to proceed with termination, and that's why they didn't give me the full 24 hours to respond to like the previous email they sent me. So I hung up the phone with her, and then that was basically it, y'all. So that was how I got fired. And y'all, I had never gotten fired before, so I was I was gagged. I was like, not them firing me, because normally I'm the one who be quitting jobs. Like, jobs don't fire me, okay? I quit. I don't get fired, I quit. Like I had told y'all, like, I didn't really like this job anymore. Like, they cut the hours, they cut the pay, and it was just a lot of ghetto stuff that was happening. And then sometimes we would get our pay like a week and 2 weeks late. Like, there were so many incidents I had where like I didn't get paid on time. Like, the lady who's like over the call center, she would like email me and be like, hey, we're having issues with our payroll company this week. Your check is going to be 1 week delayed. Like, there were so many times where like we didn't get our checks on time. Like, it was just so ghetto, y'all. Like I'm not even gonna go into detail about everything, because we would be here all day if I talked about how ghetto that company was. So I had been wanting to quit, so the fact that they fired me before I was able to quit, like, that really pissed me off. I was like, I was supposed to be the one to quit. Like, y'all weren't supposed to fire me, I was supposed to quit. But yes, you guys, so that is the story of how I got fired for the first time ever. I really hope you guys enjoyed this story. Make sure you guys give it a big thumbs up, comment down below your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, so make sure you guys follow, turn on the post notifications, and stay tuned. I have another story time dropping really soon. Coming soon, okay? I promise. Make sure you guys follow all of my social medias. I'm going to have these names up here on the screen, and make sure you guys follow my business page as well. I'm a graphic designer, so make sure you guys book with me. And with all of that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.